Thank you for the time given to me. My complete name, Thomas Alexander YAURUS. Online learning has a positive impact, namely the experiences on usage of technology in a positive way and realize the challenge of teacher in country. Online learning brings change in the education system. The material to be taught face both teacher, student, and the administration of education. Online learning in addition to breaking the spread of COVID-19 is expected to be an alternative in overcoming the problem of learning independent that allows students to learn wider knowledge material on the interest so as to lead to student creativity in knowing, scan and the implement curriculum policy. Chapter 1 Introduction 1.1 Background. The student situation in experiencing unfavorable condition caused by a virus originating from Wuhan, China called COVID-19. Status that this virus is transmitted very quickly and can cause death. The virus attacks respiratory tract infection such as cough and cold, but is naturally more lethal. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected education system around the world, leading to school closures. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government issued a new policy to stop the transmission of COVID-19, namely implementing community calls of carry out physical distancing or 2 days of order as far as 1 meter and avoid crowds and various meeting events that led to association. And my activities related to association and meeting are limited and replicated with online media. Case study method. The purpose of this study was to identify, obtain information on the context of the teaching and learning process online at home as the result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The result of this study were that there were several objects experienced by teachers, students, and parents in online teaching and learning activities. Namely, mystery technology is still lacking. The increases in internet quota cost additional work for parents in accompanying children to learn. Communication and socialization between students, teachers, and parents is reduced, and working hours are not limited for teachers because they have to communication of coordinate with parents, other teachers, and principals. Research methodology. Descriptive methodology. Based on the research I did during the COVID-19 pandemic. It brought about many changes in the world of education in Indonesia, especially in grade students of the rough to junior high school. I changed that her felt immediately while learning the words carried out in their expenses of and learning method carried out online. Krista Ogo, in junior high school, teacher at SNPTN 1 of Os Bajaba, who is also homeroom teacher of grade 9, said that in the past few months her students have not undergone proper education. Instead of studying at home, her students are now only helping their parents. Each one goes to the field due to the lack of internet service in the village. Apart from the lack of internet service, there are also limited facilities, and many children are not familiar with the learning methods that are carried out in their experience homes. Nicholas Dem at Paris, a grade 9 student, thought about what the experience Mary yes. Think about playing. What is clear is that their children are not ready and always feel bored to learn from home because they do not focus on learning because they will always face trouble, he said to me. Problem formulation. Based on the background, the problem can be formulated as follows. Was the difficult felt by grade 9 student and one of two junior high school to Bajava in learning during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019 pandemic in academic year. Research objective. Based on formulation of the problem, the purpose of the study was to find out the difficulties experienced by grade 9 students on route to junior high school to Bajava during the COVID pandemic period of the academic year. Research benefits. 1. For researchers, this research is expected to provide learning knowledge during the COVID-19 pandemic, which will later be used as basis for self-improvement in improving the quality of learning. 2. For students, this research is expected to provide knowledge and motivation during learning at home and reducing that can hinder the learning process. For teacher and education personnel, this research is expected to improve the quality and quantity of teacher and education personnel during learning at home so that in the future I will be even better. Understanding COVID-19 according to experts. The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 disease is a common type of virus that attacks the respiratory tract, but the COVID-19 strain has a higher morbidity due to genetic mutation and the possibility in interspecies transmission. Coronavirus a large family of viruses that can cause disease in animals or humans. In humans, coronavirus are known to cause respiratory infections ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases that are deadly. The emergence of COVID-19 and the spread in December, a mysterious pneumonia case was first reported in Wuhan, Hebei province. The source of the transmission of this case is still not known for sure, but the first case was linked to a fish market in Wuhan. From December 2000, from December the per 5 patients who were tested with respiratory distress syndrome. Since January 2020, this case is rapidly marked by the responding of cases. In less than 1 month, in disease has spread to various other provinces in China, Thailand, Japan, and Korea South. The sample student hovered to etiology of the coronavirus. In the answer, the spread was the name of novel coronavirus. Then WHO announced a new name on February 12, namely coronavirus disease. COVID-19 was first reported in Indonesia on March 2. There were two cases. March 2020, data shows the rate community case in case of death. The death rate of COVID-19 in Indonesia parents the picture of in South Asia. Positive impact of studying at home so as not to get bored. Learning in the atmosphere of the COVID-19 pandemic has its own characteristic that have never been experienced by students or teachers. Amid the government's effort to break the chain of the spread of COVID-19 to social distancing, learning is expected to continue effectively. Made a video containing messaging and introducing to stay at home, avoid calls, maintain children and health. Two, to introduce the student and parents about learning material, difficulties of objective experienced by students to teachers who have to walk from one house to house. Unlock here are limited in the exchanges between student and teacher. The conditions of the COVID-19 pandemic that were experienced also have a positive impact on students, teachers, and parents, including 1. Students access to being independent and deeply in learning. 2. Students have new positive experience, namely doing assignment independently so that students unconsciously have entered the dictionary of learning. 3. Learning interactions are not less interesting than learning in school because there is virtual interaction between students, teachers, and parents directly. For teachers, the COVID-19 pandemic conditions requires teachers to be able to optimally utilize technology for learning properly so that students do not feel bored. Parents of students are more aware of their children learning about a characteristic so that parents can better understand how to handle children learning. Chapter 4 Discussion. The impact of COVID of learning process. Currently grade 9 of YAURUS 2 junior high school so are training to deal with COVID-19 with different aspect of their learning. They have moved at home and have to do all the tasks given by each subject teacher. Every child is difficult doing all tasks because they don't understand with the assignment given because for so far the material given in only a little. Losses intricate in the production process, the temporary closure of education and educational institutes as an effort to deal with the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic around the world has an impact on millions of students, including in Indonesia and also of the roof to junior high school. So, difficulties in the direct learning, the cancellation of grades has an impact of the physiology of students and restricting the quality of student skills. The burden and the responsibility of every element of education, especially is supporting the continuity of school for all teachers to carry on out distance learning. Now Indonesia should plan prepare of overcome COVID-19 to overcome future loss. 4.3 Impact on school leavers junior high school girls this year experienced severe difficulty due to the COVID-19 epidemic. Students who graduated this year's expanded this bucket of our grade student. The direct impact they experienced was that there were many students who graduated without skill. Even though, as we know in this increasingly modern era, competition is also getting tougher and for highly organized skill. The direct impact felt by students of SMPN no on route to SU. Grade 9 is that many students do not understand all the material and they find it difficult to focus on connecting their schooling to another level high school. Conclusion: home study policies in education instead can clearly cause major difficulties, such as student learning interference in assessment, conflict of assessment opportunity to get a job after graduate from education. School need resources to rebuilding lost in learning when they return to reopening learning activities for recovery done quickly and appropriately by allocating budgets from the government for education. Barricades must be carried out immediately to deal with the impact of COVID-19 of the overt education. An important policy that the Minister of Education must undertake is to recover assessment of learning, not eliminate the cost important factor for students. Better policy is postpone assessment instead of speaking internal school assessment. Thank you.